do intro real quick. So we got a donation request to play Fable of the Mirror Breaker in our Shadow deck. So we're about to scam out some people. We've got like the full Grief, Fury, Undying Evil, Malakir Rebirth package. Just trying to evoke some elementals, get some sketchy wins that way. And we've added in a lot of like the Rakdos mid-range package with Dolthy Voidwalker. We've got Ragavan, our hand disruption, and we're just jamming shadows in here because we don't play non-shadow decks on this channel. We're not cowards. We live in a society. So we're just going to see what happens. Basically, people want to see Fable of the Mirror Breaker. I don't think the card is as good as advertised. I think Seasoned Pyromancer is a lot better, so why not run both and compare them side by side? If they made Dark Rit, I would just be trying to play turn 1 Lilies while everyone else was playing, would be winning games on turn 1. So I'd probably be playing like turn 1 Liliana the Last Hopes. Like not even Liliana the Veil, just like turn 1 Ritual, Liliana the Last Hope. Mill myself to get back like this Street Wraith go. Alright, so yeah. We're trying to Fable people. We're going to see how that works out. And no time like the present. So this is Rakdos Shadow Scam. Pay no attention to the league before. That was rough. But yeah, we're just trying to take like an unfair edge and bring it to Shadow. Like, why go 1 for 1 with everything your opponent's doing when you can go like 7 for 1? On yourself, obviously, because we're like evoking elementals. Alright. Something. Give us a good hand. So, while we're waiting, my call to action. Hope everybody's having an awesome Sunday. Appreciate y'all coming and hanging out. If you're enjoying the content, enjoying the channel, feel free to hit the follow button. Doesn't cost you anything. Just lets you know whenever we go live, so you can come check out future streams where we do things like this, where we're testing Shadow and random decks, testing random things in Shadow decks, trying whatever we can do to find the next big breakthrough with Shadow technology. If you're wanting to see other Shadow content, I've dropped a link to the YouTube video in the channel or in the chat, so you can go check that out, where we go post a whole bunch of Death Shadow videos and everything's like dated and time stamped, and you can see individual matches and blah 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 blah. Really cool there. If you just wanted to see like previous leagues that we've tested, you could always search out like what the test card is, because I should have that like in the title most of the time. And we are trying really hard to grow our YouTube presence, so let's see. So, to me, I don't think this hand is good enough. So I think I'm going to ship it. I think we can do more unfair things. You just had a command for Dogfish. Oh, man. This is better. We've got a scam here with Fury into Rebirth. On a different note, have you tried Abundant Harvest into Jund or 4-color? I have tried Abundant Harvest in Jund. And more often than not, it was underwhelming because you'd like name non-land because you need a creature and you're hitting like a Mishra's Bauble. Or when you have to name land, it feels pretty awkward. Okay. Ragavan, Nimble Pilferer. So I think I'm just going to go Ragavan pass here. Blood Crypt Ragavan pass. Because I really want them to, like, play an Eidolon or something. Because I don't think this makes... Yeah, this isn't the one that makes it like a 4/4. So yeah, let's do that. And if they, like, use kill spells on my Shadow, or on my Ragavan, that gets me closer to Shadow. If they don't, then I get Fury. But we're really hoping they just go, like, attack, play Eidolon. Malakir Rebirth. So we're going to take this. We also just have, like, Rebirth plus play a Shadow next turn. Come on, Eidolon. Come on, Eidolon. This doesn't look like Eidolon. Why you know Eidolon? Alright. So let's crack in with Ragavan. I believe in you. You can do it. Don't let anyone dim your sparkle. It's the nicest thing I've heard today. Alright, so I'm pretty sure I'm evoking this Fury and killing the Goblin God. I can, like, evoke Fury, kill Goblin God, rebirth the Fury, and still play a Shadow plus a fetch land. Alright, so let's go exile Shatter Skull Smashing. I want to deal the 4 damage first. So let's go damage is dealt. Malakir Rebirth, the Fury. And if they go like Bolt the Fury or something, I can rebirth it again if I want. Just kind of cheeky. Which I think is what they're trying to decide on. Bolt me. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Play out my Shadow. Hiya. We need this. We need this so bad. Don't you dare double burn spell me. Goblin God is fine. Alright. Fatal Push or Lightning Bolt off the top. Fatal Push or Lightning Bolt. Fatal Push. Not quite. Make sure this is lethal. Come on, I believe. I believe. So yeah, there's no point in cracking anything. Who? Who's the burn deck now? Yes! Ragavan! You fantastic little monkey. Alright, quit now. Pack it up. Stream's over. Nowhere to go but downhill from here. Fetch Shock was in fact a win if they didn't have a lightning bolt. Because if they had a lightning bolt, I had to make the first move. That was great. Fulminator maybe. So what do I not want? Dolthy's pretty bad. I'm just like board out some Thought Seizes. Do I want Chalice? I probably do, right? It's like, I know I've got Ragavans and Shadows that are bad against Chalice, but if I can just like land a Spyro or Kroxa or something. Yeah, we could only Chalice on 2. Maybe that's like something I want to think about on the play, and on the draw, just have Thoughtseize. Let's do that. Alright. Are we just keeping this because it's like a decent, fair hand? Like, if I draw into an Undying Evil effect on this Grief, then game might just, like, be over, but... It's a good start. They also cannot play a, Sanctifier off this. I think we'll just pass. They could have Eidolon, but this gives me like more draw steps to maybe find a Fury here. It's a complete title. I tried to like account for everything I could think of. Just... Okay. So now I think I just want to Grief ditch this Agademe. Because if they think that I've got an Undying Evil effect, then they have to kill this. And that just lets me play Shadow, so that's a win. So they do have the Sanctifier. So we're just going to take that. Take Sanctifier. Grief dies. And I'm just going to go tap Shock Land Shadow. So if my opponent spins a Bolt on my Shadow, that's a win for me. If they want to sit on Deflecting Palm, that's a win for me. But I really hope that they just, like, bolt this. I don't know if I understand that attack. Alright. Do I just go land? We're doing land Spyro or land Fable? Land Spyro, land Fable. I guess since it's a donation league for Fable, we got a Fable. Honestly, I think Spyro's better here for giving us more bodies in the immediate filter. Because I think this is just going to turn into, like, they bolt our shadow and we have to block with the Fable token. Well, like I said, it's a donation league for Fable, and we're trying to decide if Fable is better than Spyro. And why not pick a point where we have both of them available and place Fable and see if it's better? I guess it looks a lot better if opponent does that. Alright, so let's go throw away. Throw away, throw away. Okay. Fetch land first. Respiring. Fetch land first. Terminate on the Swift Spear. And Hiya. Hiya now while they don't have Deflecting Palm up. Fable gives us mana to Agademe a Fury. Well, seeing as how our Agademe is like over here in exile, we're probably not Agademing any Furies this game. Sorry. They're just like drawing mono canopy lands. That's pretty funny. Rift Bolt suspended. Sure. I'll just fire off this bolt into turn. Yeah. Alright, so we play our land, play our Spyro. Draw into... Okay. It's not really a good way to do this, is there? Deflecting Palm Bolt. So if they Deflecting Palm Shadow, go to 9. They've got Rift Bolt to 6, Bolt to 3. I'm dead to a burn spell. And that's even more... I guess it doesn't change the clock. I think you gotta just send in the token. Well, that doesn't change the damage off Deflecting Palm, right? Like, I'm still just taking 2. Or are we just, like, hoping that they don't waste a Deflecting Palm on the token? Maybe I'll buy that. Guess they're not. Alright, so let's cast Ragavan. And then next turn we've got like Grief, reflection grief or something. Unless they just have triple burn spell here. We don't need to full send when we can just like untap, play the grief, and then decide what we're doing. Alright, so we cast the grief. Hiya. Make our opponent do the decision making. Yeah, we can fetch out basic swamps. I'm waiting to see what they do. Because, like, I can just go fetch swamp, copy, like, shadow, fetch shock, fatal push, whatever shadow they deflecting palm. And obviously, if they just go, like, deflecting palm right now, we're thrilled with that. Just deflecting palm, sure. My shadow hath been palmed. Alright. So you are dead. So we get a swamp, copy the shadow. Hiya. Yeah! Oh, that was something. 1-0. Infinitely better than I thought this was going to start. So, 1-0 in matches. I also think... what do I think about Fable? I think Seasoned Pyromancer was better on the turn that we played Fable. Like, obviously, Fable ended up being good there at the end. I don't think we needed it to win. Because even if we couldn't copy the shadow right there and kill them, we still had grief to be able to take the only spell out of their hand. And if we weren't killing them, we could have attacked first, made the mana off the Fable token, and then played the grief. We wouldn't have to take one and go down to 3. So... Rakdos Scam Shadow Fable Monkey coming up big. It's the new meta. Anybody out there who doesn't understand the power is just like lost in 2021. Get with the times, old man. And we win a die roll. Busted. Dogfish. Do we keep this? I think we keep this. Probably Mole? Really? Like, are we just aggressively mulliganing for, like, Undying Evil turn 1? Because to me, this looks like a hand of turn 1, land pass, turn 2, like, Dolphy, Grief, or something. And if our opponent's on something like Tron, we just auto-win, right? Alright. Well, we gotta keep a turn 1 Ragavan, turn 2 Fable of the Mirror Breaker hand. Just ditch the smashing. Like, there's no way you can get me to throw this one back. So I think that first hand was just like free win against a decent amount of the format, with just turn 1 like nothing, turn 2 Dolphy, turn 3. All right. Misty Rainforest pass. What are we up against? Living End. Okay. So we want to go ahead and get down Dolphy here. We'll fetch and shock. Here's Dolphy. Opponents over here like the hell. Are you playing that new Rakdos Shadow Scam Fable Monkey deck? Is that what this is? I saw Spike play this. Oh, I hate the Dolphy living in interactions so much. So, let me make sure I've got this right. They cast a Cascade spell. In response, like to them putting the actual Cascade spell on the stack, I sack the Dolphy. The Cascade spell resolves. Dolphy comes back off the living end. I hope I'm good on how to time it. If not, we're going to find out. Yeah, I'm not attacking. Or not attacking with Dolphy. We're attacking with Ragavan. So much of me wants to just hard cast that. Put Fury in the bin. Oh, you mean just like cast it right now? Oh, you're probably right. You are probably right. Just evoke it off this extra Ragavan. That's a good point. Should have done that. So, can't they just Violent Outburst on my turn? they would get like an attack in, right? If they violent outburst on my turn, Dothing its sack comes back. It's got summoning sickness when it exiles the living end. Alright, but that is one living end gone. Ooh. So we just ditch Fury and Ragavan. We're gonna hit this in response. So I make them put the living end on the stack. Let's see, Carrie Caberga, thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having an awesome Sunday wherever you're at in the world. Appreciate you coming by and hanging out. Oh, and I get to grief. This is great. So I'm just ditching... No. I'm not ditching anything, right? Because I get to grief. Fury can, like, ditch Ragavan. And I get to keep Spyro. So no. Alright, so let's start with cast grief. Oh, I should update the deck list, shouldn't I? Whoops. Export. Save. Yes. Let's upload. Set as current. Alright. Now try it. Exclamation deck list. Bam. Rakdos Shadow Scam. Rakdos Shadow Scam Blade. Stuff. Alright, so we'll take the other outburst. I guess if I thought about Curator of Mysteries on the discard, I should have Furied first. Kind of glad that somebody donoed this. Well, alright. Put a card on the bottom. So are we just killing the Curator? Like, I kind of like just kill the Curator, ditch the Ragavan, play the Spyro. Here's a Spyro. Okay. Yeah! Opponent's off of it. Understandable. So we got some Chalices. Potentially Turok. We got Soul Guide Lantern. Unlicensed Hearse. Some number of that's about all I'm thinking. Bolt's bad. Terminates. Might keep it in like one Terminate. but it's not great overall. Probably just not bring in the Turox and go like this. Rakdos scam Shadow Fable Monkey strikes again. Gonna get that tattooed across my back. Rakdos scam Shadow Fable Monkey. Ah. Too strong, too strong. Fulminator is worth playing here. I think the second copy you will find value in Scam. Flickering on Cascade and big mana is powerful. Alright, what are we playing Fulminator over? Just like the Terminate? Or like a Fury. Fury doesn't seem too great. Maybe on the play. It's like on the draw, unless you have Ragavan, it seems kind of meh. Like I'd rather just be doing Thoughtseize, Dolthy, Chalice, Soul Guide stuff. But I always found a reasonable path to victory sideboard strategy versus a lot. I could see that. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to just playing 2 or 3 Fulminators in the board and trying to cheese out against, like, the 4-color pile decks. I also didn't put Blood Moon and Magus of the Moon in the sideboard here. I was going to do that. Whoops. And this is an easy ship. Like, this isn't doing anything unfair against what our opponent's doing. Grief and Rebirth. We can keep this. Just ditch one of the shadows. And our plan's like Grief, Alpha Shadow, Rebirth it into Fable. But I guess at the same time, Rebirth on Grief is enough life loss to get down Shadow on turn 2. So maybe we're ditching the Fable here. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to ditch the Fable and try to like high roll another black card. So I might be able to just go like Rebirth of Grief on turn 1 into double Shadow on turn 2. Yeah, I lose 2 life off Malakir Rebirth. So it's 3, 6, 8. I go down to 12. Alright, so like now I'm ditching a Shadow to Grief. I was like, I'd rather Dolthy on turn 2. So, exile a Shadow. Like, sitting here holding control because I'm just terrified it's going to skip through. So, evoke on the stack first. Exile the... Take a look at your stuff. Dead and Gone. So, do I want to just take Outburst and Dead and Gone? Yeah. Yeah, Outburst, Dead and Gone. Unless I think that... No, it's got to be dead and gone. Like, that means I get to put pressure with the grief. They're losing life with Street Wraith. We care about dead and gone because it kills Dolthy, and I think I'd rather just, like, have the pressure here. Like, I get that killing Dolthy isn't the worst thing in the world for us because it just puts Dolthy in the yard for a living end. But I kind of like this idea of having Dolthy, like, exiling stuff that's getting cycled while they try to find a living end. Like, I think that's relevant a lot of the time. But I mean, if they have a cascade spell, like, right here, this one turn, then we could just be out of it. And they do. It's always the one turn. Always the one turn. Yeah, probably should have soul guided there for that reason. You are correct. I was just thinking, okay, I give them one, I guess technically 2 draws at finding the living end. Or 3, because they got Curator, Street Wraith, draw for turn. So. Yeah, that's on me. Is it modern great? Isn't this great and meaningful gameplay? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I need to block the River Winder. Take 7, 8, 9. Is that? Yeah. Violent Outburst, yep. Would not have been lethal on the crackback, would have been dead. But like, you also have to take into account, okay, they've got Street Wraith in hand. So if they play a living end and I sack Soul Guide, and after the Soul Guide resolves, they cycle Street Wraith, I still can't get Street Wraith off the board. So, like, it's not just a Soul Guide auto win situation. I think I want to take out one of these 3 drops. Or just Kroxa. Let's just take out Kroxa. Or like holding up mana for the, what is it? Undying Evil, whatever one I had. The Malakir Rebirth. Yeah, like, I can just do that on my turn, and I still lose the 2 life. It doesn't have to come back for me to lose the life. Thoughtseize Grief. Am I supposed to mull aggressively to, like, Dolthy? Or am I supposed to say that Thoughtseize Grief is enough? Yeah, I gotta ship this. Okay. I've got a tough time throwing back the Ragavan hand. See, Aggie51, thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having an awesome Sunday wherever you're at in the world. Appreciate you coming around and hanging out. They do have Dead and Gone. Okay. Black card. Nice. Alright, so I want to ditch the Undying Evil. What do you got? Ooh. So I just have to take the two Cascade spells. Yeah. All right. Whiff on land. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Surprised they didn't subtlety there. Yeah, I'm a little surprised they didn't as well. Oh, and a Shardless off the top. I could Shardless into like Soul Guide. I think it's better to just Fable here. Can ditch this extra Ragavan. Okay. to board out all of our lightning bolts. I do very much appreciate them just like main phase firing off these cyclers. Alright, so I know I'm ditching Ragavan. Do I want to ditch Rebirth 2? Yeah. Yeah, I don't care about the Undying effect here. Okay. So let's crack in with the dudes. No! Alright, Thoughtseize. See what's up. Got a living end. So they cannot currently find a land and a cascade spell. So we just need to take Architects of Will. And then we can just like go ahead and grief the Waker, I guess. Or do we even need to grief? I guess we're just... Nah. We'll hold up. 'Cause I don't think it matters, but... Yeah, like, I don't think they can draw anything there that gets them out of that. 2-0 for the Scam Shadow Monkey Fable. We're forgetting a word in there. What's the last one? 2-0 for Rakdos Scam Shadow Monkey Fable. Rakdos, that's the word. With some of the weirdest play patterns I've ever had to deal with in a game of Magic. Bro, do you even Rakdos Scam Shadow Monkey Fable? Apparently not. I'm over here like struggling to figure out Dothy lines. Like, am I supposed to Dothy now or next Monday? Or has he done his taxes yet? What about the MLB draft? That just occurred. All right. Persist is also a card that's made it in and out of my builds. I wouldn't mind Persist, but I don't know what you would cut. Up against Wild. So yeah, we've got turn 1 Rebirth of Ragavan, or turn 1 Rebirth of Fury. I feel like we're supposed to turn 1 Rebirth of Grief here. So let's go Grief. And I do know about resolving the take a look at your hand first. So if they do have like interaction, I can choose if I want a Malachor Rebirth or not. Which they do. So what I can do is take Shadow, and then evoke and rebirth a Fury here. Is that worth it? Dodges Fatal Push, dodges Drown, charms a way off. I think I'm gonna do that. So yeah, we take Shadow. This dies. We evoke this. Yeah, that's my hope, is that they can just, like, never kill Fury. Because I've just given up Grief in one of my rebirths. Grief is dead against the fetchland double Thoughtseize. So, like, it doesn't matter if I have resources if the resources can't do anything. Like, what's Fury doing here? Because if they get a big Shadow or a Murktide or something, like, Fury can't deal with that. So... But, like, I don't want to play out... I could just play out a fetch land, but I don't want to be, like, cracking them and making Drowning Lock better. At least not until I have to. And for the same reason, I don't want to play out Dauthi here. Because I don't want to run the risk of my opponent just having, like, kill spell for the Dauthi, untap, drown and lock the Fury. Because I know they've got all that. The hope is that they just go, like, Archmage's Charm, draw 2, untap, play, like, tap out, play a Murktide. And we just get to, like, terminate the Murktide and move on. That's obviously the less desirable scenario. Alright, so Charm, or no, Charm's gone. Drown, push, unknown. And we're absolutely taking a hit off this Shadow. Even with the dress down, they're not killing me. Do I want to go for the EOT Terminate? want to go for the end of turn terminate. No. Do you do anything? Not really. Shadow matchups were pretty tough for Scam. Goyce and Shadows. Series is always nice here with the matchups to change with Shredder. So this isn't a Shredder Tarmogoyf matchup. Like, this is just Murktide, Shadow, Drown, Fatal Push. Not a huge fan of them fetching there and going down to 3 against a deck that more than likely has Lightning Bolt. Okay. Push, push, drown, unknown. So here, I do think we're going for the end of turn. Terminate. I don't know why you would sack your Shadow for that. I think protecting the Shadow's better, but all right. Go for Fable. I mean, I guess if that was going to resolve, Spyro would have been better, but... Let's just ditch Fury. Okay. Push, unknown, unknown. Go for like an upkeep bolt. Pitch for Fury for draw. Agreed. Agreed. Yep. And the hope here is just to overload counter spells. So maybe if they've got like counter Murktide or something, then maybe they fight over this, and then if they fight and play a Murktide, they might not have another mana open to counter the second bolt. Scamdo's Shadow, indeed. That is in fact the technical name for what we're playing today. Maybe Turox. Tilt's a little sus. Fury's also not very good against them. Well, I guess Fury is like an undying evil kill target is good. Fury is just like a evoke for damage to something is bad. But like this deck struggles really, really heavily with cheap creatures. Explosives. It's like good against Shadow, bad against Murktide. And I feel like with Spyro and that stuff, like you have a reasonable chance against the Murktide half, or against the Shadow half of the deck. This is interesting. I think I'm Grief Pitch a Grief. Or my Grief Pitch... Maybe it's Grief Pitch Croxa. So if they do something about this Grief, I've got like a second Grief I can evoke. So let's go Grief, Exile. I kind of like Grief, Exile, Croxa here. They do have the Murktide. So what we can do... I could go, like, take the stub here. Evoke the second Grief. No, I'm just gonna go... Take the stub. Thoughtseize. Take... Murktide. Yeah. It's unfortunate that both of their opening hands had two pieces of one-mana interaction that got through the Grief evoke. So just take... Do I want to just take push and then next turn... No, let's take consider. And then next turn we'll go for push and then... next turn we'll evoke Grief, take push, and then take the Murktide. So I really want to draw another black card to ditch to this this Grief. So let's go evoke, ditch, Undying Evil. Alright, so we'll take push. I kind of want to just leave them with Murktide. No, I guess it is a 6/6. So it'd be better to take push, yeah. Malakir Rebirth, the Grief. Take the Murktide. Fetch Shock, play the Shadow. I think in these cases, Mike, you want to pitch the Rebirth and go for the bigger body. Maybe, but like I wanted to lose the 2 life to make 2 bigger bodies. Like, maybe you're right. Alright, top deck a push. So now we've got Grief v Shadow. No longer have Grief v Shadow. Use Evil for the cast Rebirth for the Exile. Oh, you mean just, yeah, exile the Rebirth to the Grief. But I still think I like the losing 2 life since I had the Shadow. Opponent is not Fetch Shock playing the Shadow. They top deck another push or a drown. If they top decked a drown, they should have done it while I was tapped out. I think we did it once versus Living In too. You having Shadow there wasn't something I was 100% taking into account. There's more cases to Rebirth on your build. Yeah, like, I think if I can go wide with reasonable bodies, it's probably worth it. If I was going like all in on one body, then yeah, making that one body bigger would be a big deal. So fetch before the exile, sure, drown, yep. It is, in fact, Grief Shadow. It's actually Rakdos Scam Shadow Fable Monkey. That's a series of unfortunate events. So I'm dead if I attack. Had to be the Thoughtseize off the top. Quite a few ways we win that if they don't have the Thoughtseize right there. Sure. All right, let's find an answer to the Shadow off the top. It's not technically an answer, but it's just another drown. I think if they had to drown, they should have just cast it because I think most of these tap the creature. I guess that doesn't. Some number of them tap the dude. Alright, how about a Shadow or a removal spell? Shadow or removal spell. That's not one of them. Do we hold Rebirth in case we draw a red card? Maybe, but I think the likelihood of like us being able to draw a red card and dodge counter spells pretty low. I guess they really don't have a good way of dealing with EE. See, Orange Jello, played you a little bit. I was on Living In, good games. Which one? Because I think I've played Living In like 5 times today. It's been a little all over the place. I think I just want to keep this. Like, turn 1, EE. Turn 2, if they Thoughtseize, I've got Dothy or Unlicensed Hearse. If they don't... Jeez, that's a lot. Probably 20 minutes ago, roughly. I lost. Gotcha. Then I know exactly how that one went, and I apologize for having 20 million Dothies. But yeah, like I said, we played a League of Jund Shadow earlier, and I think we ran into Living In 2 or 3 times in that league. Like, it's been a lot. But I appreciate you coming in and saying hey. I don't know if you just, like, randomly saw the name, but I'm about to be swapping over to a different Moto account that has, like, Control Freak _TTV, which I know is cheesy as hell, but that's where we're at in the world. So I think I'm gonna try to dodge Stubborn Denial here and get Hearse down. I guess I could have griefed first. Maybe that was the better play. Maybe like grief, exile, Dothy, hold up, feign death means that I just get to like cover everything. So perhaps that was a bit greedy. But hopefully I can, like, draw land and have, like, the same thing this turn. Land? Land? Maybe? Okay. So let's go... Grief, exile, Dothy... Drown, Shadow. So we can drown and go for the feigned death, which forces the action on the other drown, or they just lose it. Yeah. So they have to use the drown or they get no drown, no mo. So that's a plus. Which is fine, because now I just get to go Swamp Pass. They do whatever, we untap, play Spyro, hopefully. Scam has a 3-mana curse. I would believe that. Alright, and then them playing out the shadow here kind of makes me think that they drew another shadow. So if that's the case, we're just gonna like trade off there and get our Spyro down. Like, I don't think you play out the shadow if you drew like a say Drown in the Lock or Counterspell, Archmage's Charm there. There's like no benefit to just throwing away your one threat. And now we're just looking for like Spyros and Fables and all this stuff and carrying on with our lives. Could be a little rough if our opponent finds a Murktide really quickly. Thoughtseize is a really good draw here. So we can go attack with Spyro. So if my opponent found like another Drown or something, or they want to Fatal Push my Spyro, I can Rebirth. Go Thoughtseize. See what they got going on. And if they like fight over this Thoughtseize, then I just get Fable. That's really good. Dress down. You got it. So many dress downs. So little time. Alright, Fable. Take us to the promised land. I believe in you. Believe in me that believe in the me that believes in you. Dothy Voidwalker. Sure. So that would exile anything. I don't care if he has a Malakir Rebirth with Dothy, right? Because that's not doing anything for me anyway. So I'm just going to ditch both of these. Okay. We out here going wide. I can't Rebirth Pyro with Dothy out. Pyro would just get exiled. And Rebirth, like, doesn't do anything for them, so... Alright, so let's play Shadow and the other Fable. Let's say, here we go. This is what we got, OP. Can you beat us? Ah! Alright. I know they've got an Odawara. That's something. They no longer have an Odawara. Hardcast a Street Wraith. Nope, just have the Murktide. Let's double check what we've got. Exiled, Malakir Rebirth, Bloodstained Mire, so we don't care about either of those. More than likely not ditching whatever we get to Fable. So I guess we will ditch that. So I don't care if they have a Thoughtseize. Yes. Go away. Okay. So then we just right-click attack. The Scam Shadow. Rakdos, Scam Shadow, Fable Monkey. The new meta. Oh man. These have been weird games. But, as always, since we've got decent viewers, I'll do my pitch. Thanks everybody for coming and hanging out. Appreciate you taking time out of your Sunday to check out some sweet Scam Shadow action today, apparently. If you're enjoying the content or enjoying the commentary of the channel, anything like that, feel free to hit the follow button. Doesn't cost you anything. Just lets you know whenever we go live. So you can come check us out. We're always around like trying out Shadow stuff. So Grixis, Jund, Esper, Mardu, Stoneblade, Rakdos, Scam, Shadow, Monkey. Any of the above are potential options. Always happy to have people hanging around. Alright. We're on the draw against Yorion. Do I have to just ship this? It's like getting even that good for a fair hand. Goo Pile, thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having an awesome Sunday so far. Okay, this is better. Just ditch the Shatter Skull smashing. You think that first hand was decent enough, or this one? Like, I thought that first hand wasn't good at all. Double Dothy against a Yorion pile. Like, alright, so are we grief ditching Shadow, or are we ditching Croxa? Probably Shadow. Shadow's not very good here. So let's go Blood Crypt, Evoke Grief, ditch Shadow. Check out what they've got. What? What on earth is going on? Ardent Plea, failure to comply. Choose a card name until your next turn. Your opponents can't cast cards with this chosen name. Rhinos? Is that what this is? So I'm going to take Fire and Ice, Rebirth, take Teferi. Or am I taking the Ardent Plea? Ardent Plea is like best thing, so I guess that's what I'm taking. But Teferi just like resetting this grief is really rough. We're just going to take the Ardent Plea. I don't know what's going on yet, so we're going to figure it out. Let's glimpse 100%. What's the giveaway? Like, I'm not hyper familiar with these decks, so... So I play Kroxa, they play Failure to Comply. Or just Failure, I guess. Failure to Comply is the giveaway. I mean, I'll take y'all's word off of it. Also, did they not have white mana? Did I just, like, skip over that? They don't. They don't have white mana. I've never seen a Yorion Rhinos list. I know I have seen Doomwake play Yorion Rhinos. Whether it's good or not, I have no idea, but I have seen him play it. Alright, can we get down Fable here? But ironically, I would really like to know if this is Rhinos or something else, like before game 2. Alright, so there's... Ah, yes. Omnath. How did I not think about Omnath? Let's see. Oh, we have a bet in the chat whether this is a Footfalls deck or a Glimpse deck. Is the challenge going to be accepted? You got it. Moment of truth. It is, in fact, a Rhinos deck. So, your Rhinos. Alright, well, we do have 3 EEs in the board, so that's nice. I kind of want to keep the Fury. But am I... Like, I want to kill Omnath, but also they... Do I know their last card? I don't think I do, right? No, I don't know their last card. I could also attack with a Shaman, make a token, so... yeah. I need to get back Kroxa. But I guess if I'm trading off like Grief or something for a Rhino, then what does this do? Choose a card name until your next turn. Your opponent can't cast spells with the chosen name. Alright, that's fair. So, block, block, block. Or am I keeping the Fury? Nah, I just gotta trade off everything. I mean, like, I would love to be copying Fury with Fable, but I don't think I can afford to go down to 2. I think I kind of have to take my chances here. Like, maybe I'm able to find another Fury pretty quickly. Oh, I agree. You meant drawing another Fury. Forgot about Croxa. Yeah, so we were on the same page. I also probably wouldn't mind finding, like, a Grief. So I could just, like, upkeep Grief on their turn and knock it out. Dothy Voidwalker. Do I want to copy the Dothy? Probably. Ragavan's not really doing anything for me, so... Might as well try to pop in some damage. Solitude. They had Solitude Yorion. So they ditch Solitude, which means I can copy Solitude with Dothy. Am I supposed to just trade with this Shardless agent and take 4? Oh, if they drew nothing and they Solitude the Omnath, I can sack Dothy, get their Solitude, exile one of these, reflection it, exile the Yorion that they play. Oh. But what if they have, like, fire and ice? Because I saw one. You're right, they would kill Ragavan and lethal me. So I just want to trade with this. Get bodies off the board. Yep. Blink the Omnath. Okay. So let's go Dorothy. Cast the Solitude. Cast you. Exile Omnath. Kiki, copy the Solitude. Exile Yorion. Dash Ragavan. Hiya. If that wasn't a turn and a half, I don't know what was. Oh man, give me something to cast. I was really hoping for a Teferi. I was like banking on a Teferi. Fable doubters crying. Oh, come on. Give us this game one. Let us board into our triple. Choose a card name until your next turn. Your opponents can't cast spells with the chosen name. Alright, what are they naming? I guess they just, yeah, they named Ragavan. Sure. Comply and scoop. Love it. Orange Jello, thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having an awesome Sunday so far. Alright, so Turoks are great. We've got all of these EEs and chalices for this. Oh, man. Can't cast... Oh, I didn't have 2 treasures, did I? You're right. You're right. Do I want Fulminator here? Fulminator's probably okay. Maybe Terminate. Bolt looks pretty bad. Doesn't kill Rhino, doesn't kill Omnath or Yorion. Trim a couple of these Undying Evil effects. Since they've got a whole bunch of exile stuff. What do I want? What do I not want? Trim on some shadows because they're kind of vanilla here. Maybe not bring in the extra Terminate. Go like that. Xeno1, thank you so much for the follow. Hope you as well are having an awesome Sunday so far. And Lewin, I think I missed your follow, but thank you so much as well. Greatly appreciate it. I'd prefer a second land. Let's go with it. I'm riding a high train right now. I think we'll find it. Nice. So I'm going to lead on Ragavan. That way next turn, if they like have an answer to Ragavan next turn, I can just like Thoughtseize plus second Ragavan or something. And if they don't have an answer, maybe I hit Dolphy, Thoughtseize. But looks like they have an answer. Yep. It's gonna ice me. Sure. Alright, so am I just going Thoughtseize Chalice? Check for like Force of Negation and stuff. Take endurance. Yeah, take endurance, play the chalice on 0. So you go. Okay. Play Dolthy. And we need to get to Turok. Shizniz. I think you have to type out the full word deck list. Unless Stream Decker's left the chat. Let's see. Stream Decker has in fact left the chat. Sometimes it just like up and decides it doesn't want to be here anymore. And it'll just like deuces. Okay. Do I want to dash Ragavan? I think I do. Because this means I can Agadeem's this turn, play Shadow, even if they exile like Dolthy or something to Shadow, or exile Dolthy, Shadow still lives. I just top deck another endurance. Oof. Okay. Play Agadeem the Undercrypt. Shock. Play a Shadow. Say go. And they can Solitude if they want to. There's just like no, they can't Teferi. I think they drew a Teferi. I think that was like, oh yeah, I can totally play this Teferi. So, play second Dolthy in case they decide to evoke Solitude. I get to exile it. Maybe I want to play it. Then we'll crack in with Dolthy number 1. Don't want to attack with Dolthy and Shadow because if they just evoke Solitude, exile this Dolthy, Shadow shrinks to a 1/1 and they just get a free block on it. Come on, land. Come on, land. Alright, let's... Grief. So they did draw the Teferi. Good call there. I can just sack this to stop the shrinking of Shadow. This right here seems common to me, getting stuck on Turok Kroxamana. Yeah, and I feel like it shouldn't be that case. Because, like, you're still running the 4 Undying Evils plus the Shatter Skull Smashing and the Agadeem. So you're at, like, a functional 23 lands. Oh, they do have the Omnath. So we're just taking that, right? Can they win from here? Take Omnath. Attack in with both of my guys. And then am I supposed to just, like, play out the Turok? Is that what I'm doing? Am I just playing out Turok? Yeah. And I think they have to have Solitude to exile Dothy. So they're still dead. Alright. 4-0. Somehow, some way. I like the addition of Shadow to the list. The Shadows have been pretty decent. Like, I wasn't sure what to expect. I've played Rakdos Skelemental like 2 leagues, and that's the extent of my scam experience. So, no idea what to expect going into this. But I think the Shadows have been solid. Like, just being a fairly reliable body and a deck that's got a pretty aggressive mana base. I like Rakdos Scam. I have it foil. I've got Death Shadow, but not foil. Just like mostly signed. Okay. On the draw. Looks like we got a prediction in. If you're a big prediction person. What do I think? It's like not a good scam hand. Yeah, I think I'm shipping it. Especially on the draw, this just like isn't doing enough. This is a lot better. Throw back the second grief. Like I'm shipping something between grief and Dothy. I think second grief's a little bit less exciting because at least now I give myself the option of having the Dothy if it turns out that's better. Wooded Foothills. Ooh. Wooded Foothills. What did I cut for the Shadows? I cut... Dogfish kind of started off the list. What did we cut? I can't remember what we cut from the original list. Alright, so we're griefing turn 1. So let's go. Blood Crypt. Grief. Evoke. Ditch Dothy. Everybody seems to like double grief, so. Whew. Punished heavily for ditching the Dothy. So they are on a 2-lander, so let's go Architects. No, Waker and Outburst. Man. It would have been a buy if we'd just gone turn 1 Ragavan, turn 2 Dolphy, plus Grief. Let's see. Who was it earlier? Orange Jello. When I said that we were playing against Living End like all day today, I was not making it up. Am I just taking one of these cheap cyclers, making them spend more mana? Nah, I gotta take Waker. It just digs deeper. The scam strikes back. Really does. Alright. So that's Architect's gone. Cycle to Street Wraith 2. Steam Vents is gone. Weaker I took. Alright. So let's crack in with Grief. Play Ragavan. And I think I'm just holding on to... Am I holding on to the Fury, or am I evoking it off this Spyro? How bad do I want this Fury coming back? No. It's just way better if I get to Spyro ditch the Fury next turn. Yeah, we die with the Living End anyway, so you're right. Okay. Tell me they don't have it. Udawara. So let's go Spyro. I think we're just evoking the Grief. Blind draw into the Living End. Blind draw. Come on. Come on. Don't you dare. God! Ah! Blind draw into it. All right. Where are we damaging? We're just hitting Curator. Blind draw into the Living End. God. At least, like, draw a Cycler and then, like, take one shot at it. Don't just rip it off the top. So they have no more Living Ends in the deck. So that doesn't do anything. one blind draw. It's so brutal. So this is 7-10. Do I have to just trade off Fury and... Am I just Fury trading off with, like, Architects? I don't think there's anything I can draw here. Well, Terminate wasn't even an out. Because if I draw Terminate, like, I can kill one of these, and they still block Fury, and they're only taking 2. Yep. Alright, well, we got games 2 and 3 at least. Hopefully we got a game 2 and 3. Alright, what did we do last time? We ditched Bolts, Terminate. Just went like that. Or we could ditch Croxa and like keep in a Terminate. We get them post board. I hope so, because that one felt bad. I need some justice in my life. Just take it and have Bolts out. You're right. You're right. Bolt isn't out. Would have gotten there. I think I can do better. Ugh. Should have kept the first one. This is just like banking on Spyro to get something. Opponent mulled to 6. I'm shocked whenever I see Living in mulligan. It's like just 1 land and 7 cyclers and you're set. Yeah, I'm kind of inclined to think we have to go down to 5 as well. Okay. You absolutely keep this. What about throwing back? I really want to throw back, like, Undying Evil, Land, but yeah, that's just too greedy. Well, that stops grief. Stops Dothy too, which is pretty funny. So So let's just play this out as a land. And I think I just want to evoke the grief right now. Or I guess I can wait till next turn. I wouldn't be sad if they banned Outburst. I think Outburst should be on the chopping block, personally. Like, I'm okay with having unfair Cascade stuff. I'm not really okay with them having the ability to play it on your turn and protect it with, like, Force of Negation. I think that's too much. More subtleties. So let's start with Evoke a Grief. Or I guess now Evoking a Grief doesn't even do anything. Well, yeah. Evoke a Grief and I can cast the second one. Yeah. I'm just sitting there looking at these Undying Evil effects. Like, Evoking a Grief doesn't do anything with the ley line. No, it still does something. Ban an Outburst. So they have to have like 7 more Outbursts in hand. They have no Outburst. So we take Architects of Will and Subtlety. Why did they throw away Outburst when they had the mana for Outburst? Like, I get that Waker, or I get that they, like, it would get taken, but I don't know. I feel like I'd rather just make that choice. Just take Subtlety. I guess I could have taken Foundation Breaker if I wanted Fable sticking around. Did they rip it off the top? Bro. Bro! My guy, stop doing this! Oh, why do you bend the Violent Outburst? Because you just know you have another Violent Outburst. Ah. 2 Blind Rip Outbursts. Man. We were in line for that trophy. We had it. Okay. What did I learn from that league? I think the fair part of this deck is a lot better than the fair part of Scam. Like, we had a lot of good games that we just had Spyro and Fable and Dothy. And, like, Ragavan was really solid. The Shadows were really solid. So, I don't know. It was interesting to play. I was surprised with how it went. I didn't think it was going to go, like, anywhere near that positive. So you hate both this and 4-color with a passion. That's very fair. I'm also not a fan of this or 4-color. So let's see. Where did it go? All right. What do I think about the sideboard? I don't think Fulminator's worth it. I think just like mulliganing aggressively to the Grief plan or like Thoughtseize Shadow is better than having Fulminator. I know Dogfish mentioned that Fulminator loops were like pretty good in the big mana deck, but I think you're fine if you just go turn 1, evoke Undying of Grief. Need Leyline? Do you? Because, like, you've got 4 main deck Dauthi, you've got the Undying Evil Grief package, and, like, Thoughtseize Shadow, and then you're bringing in 2 Chalices, Soul Guide, and Unlicensed Hearse. Like, I feel like going more Grave Hate is just overkill. And I really don't want to rely on Leyline being in my opening hand specifically against the decks with like Brazen Borrower and Foundation Breaker and all that stuff. I guess to me that just feels like overkill on the Grave Hate. There. Alright. But I'm going to you won 75% of matches first living in. I would believe that. I'm going to send everybody over to Kevin. I'm probably going to play this deck again tomorrow. But as always, appreciate everybody coming and hanging out. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. If you're, again, enjoying the commentary, enjoying the channel, feel free to hit the follow button. Doesn't cost you anything. Just lets you know whenever we go live. Otherwise, hope everybody has a fantastic rest of your Sunday. Stay safe. Enjoy some good food and company. Thanks to all the new followers, the new subscribers. Thanks, Sappy, again, for the donation league. Looking forward to playing this a little bit more next week. So, hope to catch y'all back as soon as the week kicks off. Adios for now.